Well, to this story now, a civil society group AfriForum and trade union Solidarity will be taking legal action against government's decision on the buying and distribution of COVID-19 vaccines. Well, this comes after Health Minister Zweli Mkhize assured the country government's vaccine procurement and rollout plan is on track. The two organizations want to stop government from being the sole buyer of the COVID-19 vaccine. Well, we've got the head of Solidarity Research Institute, Connie Mulder, saying that the country can't allow the nationalization of vaccines. Let's now discuss this further with the organizations. Connie Mulder. Connie, thanks a lot for joining us this evening. You're saying that government should not have the monopoly in procuring and distributing this vaccine. Why so?
Well, first, let's start at why this is so important. If you look at the coronavirus pandemic currently raging, the only way out of this for any country is either having enough people die, so you reach herd immunity, or having a proper vaccination program and getting it rolled out as quickly as possible. Several other countries have embarked upon this vaccination program. If you take into account, the United Kingdom ordered 340 million doses of vaccine in August of 2020. Brazil is rolling out 200 million vaccines in January. And we begged for 1.5 million vaccines from India, and it seems that we're not on track. If you listen to President Ramaphosa, we're going to have Q2 2020 a couple of vaccines. Now, it doesn't bother us that much, although it's still shocking that government dropped the ball here. The part that is worrying is that they steadfastly refuse for anyone else to pick up the ball. We do not understand why government should be the sole buyer and distributor. Now, this would be something that we object to with any government, but this government in particular. Remember, these are the guys that cannot provide textbooks to schools, that cannot provide power to the country, who are now ensuring us that they will be able to provide vaccines to the population. With the reason being, we're not going to be getting out of lockdown until we've got a vaccination program. So if we believe this government, we're looking at perpetual lockdown, maybe into 2023, 2024, before a vaccination program is properly rolled out.
Yeah.
Now, just to clarify, we're not saying government should not buy any vaccines. Obviously, government should be buying vaccines. This is part and parcel of how to get vaccinated. We're just saying, why put this restriction on who can buy vaccines? Why not allow medical aids? Why not allow employers? Why not allow any of these to buy and distribute the vaccines as necessary? Surely, in a pandemic, we need all hands on deck. We need everyone to try and get vaccinated as quickly as possible so that we can save the economy if it's still possible, and we can get the country back to work as quickly as possible.
Well, Connie, I mean, obviously there's been also a proposal on the table around the role of private sector and being able to procure some of these vaccines, saying that they should be playing a more robust role. As you're saying, all hands should be on deck. So if you have to look at an acceptable norm, an acceptable alternative to procuring this vaccine, what would be that acceptable alternative?
Well, it would quite simply be just government not standing in the way of anybody buying it. Mr. Mkhize has just issued this diktat that government will be the sole buyer and distributor of vaccines, and the private sector can contribute by adding funds, but the government will be in charge of the logistics. And then he proposed an extremely ambitious vaccination rollout program. Now, we're saying, why do you want government to be the distributors? Remember, the same government wanted to centralize distribution of aid during the pandemic, and then they eventually failed there, and normal charities just kept on distributing aid. So what we're saying is it's a free market. Do not stop companies from talking to manufacturers directly. Why can't Discovery Medical Aid speak to Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson and say, we want all our members to be covered and we'll pay for it. We're not going to wait until government says, now we're allowed. And the second part of this is we do not have any idea how many vaccines we've actually ordered. We've received 1.5 million from India, but it looks like we were lucky. We basically received the scraps. We've got 60 million people, of which we need to vaccinate 40 million. Other countries have been on the vaccination trend since July and August of last year, making sure that they get their populations vaccinated. We've suddenly woken up. We've been asleep at the wheel. We've not added capacity to hospitals, and we've not started the vaccination program. Yeah. And now this government wants us to trust them with our healthcare. Well,
Connie, unfortunately, just for the sake of time, unfortunately, we have run out of time. But just to get this question across to you, how far are you with this legal process?
All right, so we're finalizing court documents on Monday, and then I'm sure we'll be issuing court summons or signing it on government within the next week or 2 weeks. This is a critical issue where we're really worried that we're going to miss the bus with vaccination, and in that case, South Africa is looking at lockdown into 2022, 2023, and quite frankly, we just can't afford it.